Oh, goody.
Alright, what's going on everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So today we have some news about series drops. Some of you might not even know what those are if you started playing the game recently. Series drops have not been a thing in the game for months now, going away just before the summer started, and when we got the changes to card acquisition with the Spotlight caches. Previously, the old model of Marvel Snap was essentially you paid a bit more for cards as they released, but if you were patient and were willing to wait some time, you would basically just get all the cards for free if you were Series 3 complete, as all the cards would rotate down from Series 5 to 4 and 4 to 3, and then if you're Series 3 complete, you would just naturally open those Series 3 cards as they rotate down pretty quickly. The system was certainly not without its flaws. A lot of people didn't enjoy not being able to interact with more of the card releases, which Spotlight caches attempted to fix, but series drops were kind of a very core part of the game, and they were pretty much just entirely taken away with no knowledge of what was going to happen to them in the future. This was first announced by Second Dinner calling it flexible series drops, or as I prefer, fuck series drops, because we don't get any more of them. And since then, people have been asking about the return of them. Now, a while back, we were speculating a little bit, they're not putting Howard the Duck or Living Tribunal or Iron Lad or some of these other cards in Spotlight caches. That must be because they're going to drop soon, right? And then that theory was immediately shut down, and the answer given was just, no, LOL, we just don't have variants for them to put in the caches, so we're not putting them in caches. And when that happened, I made the prediction that we would not be receiving series drops at least until next year. And we finally have a little bit of news about when we are getting some information about this. So the one and only Globe Turd here asking about series drops. Are they still planned to continue? Or is this no drops thing indefinite? And Steven replies, we will share more info on series drops before the end of the year. So what does this mean? This means that we're going to get some information, and it also pretty much confirms, like many have suspected at this point, there are going to be no series drops this year. I mean, if we're getting info on them before the end of the year, I doubt we're actually going to see any this year, so not really too unexpected. What's going to happen with series drops? I think they're going to resume them, but at a very, very slow pace. Spotlight caches, while initially celebrated, have had a pretty critical flaw where the further you get in your card acquisition, the more cards you own, the worse spotlights get, mainly because of that random slot being less likely to get you a new card, but also because there are less weeks that are appealing to you, assuming your main goal is just acquiring regular cards and not going for any variants. As you get more cards, there are less spotlight weeks that are worth it where you're getting more than one new card in that given week. I think this is probably the biggest flaw with spotlight caches and the thing that's been criticized the most. It's also been very frustrating when certain cards go in spotlight caches once and then you don't see them again for months, with them not dropping down in series and a lot of cards still releasing at Series 5. Feels like it's just putting many cards out of the reach of the average player who's not willing to whale out on gold or bundles to effectively get tokens, which are a lot harder to obtain. So yeah, my prediction with this, I think we're going to be seeing the series drops return sometime early next year. However, it's not going to be like it was before, where they drop, a handful at a time. I think we'll maybe see 1 or 2 drops at a time. I think they're going to be rather conservative with it, as they've shown they really like having this larger bloated pool of Pool 4 and Pool 5 cards to pull from for their Spotlight cache system. So yeah, that's pretty much all the news we have on it. We'll stay tuned for an update on this. It's also going to be a developer roadmap update coming in either December or January, talking about other future things going on in the game, so we'll keep an eye out for that as well. But I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What do you think about series drops, or I suppose the lack of them, and what do you think is going to happen with this announcement? Do you think they're going to do something probably no one expects right now and bring them back in full force, dropping multiple cards a month? Or do you think they're going to not be bringing back series drops as often of a thing, just kind of once in a blue moon? Let me know in the comments below, but that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.